This is a PSA. If you own a PS5, I implore you, do not pass on Astro Bot. Please buy this game. It is a joyful, non-stop rush of dopamine from start to finish. I've heard people jokingly say that it's like Mario Galaxy 3, but honestly, if Nintendo did make one for some reason, and it was exactly like this, I guarantee people would laud it as one of the greatest masterpieces ever conceived. Each level just has so many new ideas after new ideas, some of which never get reused. There are entire mechanics specific to just one level, and they're all so fun. To me, variety is everything in a video game, and this one has it in spades. I always knew this game would be good, but when I started it, I mentally braced myself because it's a linear 3D platformer, and I really like the sandbox ones, but you know what? Didn't bother me once. Each level is meticulously crafted to have lots of exploration as you go. There's lots of secrets to discover, and there are entire levels that are nonlinear in nature, where you just explore a densely packed open area. People make Mario comparisons, but honestly, Sony used to make and publish lots of platformers back in the early PlayStation days. I just wish more big-budget developers would do so. Now, there are indie titles that are carrying the torch with 3D platformers, and Nintendo will always make 3D platformers. But I want more, especially some with this level of polish. I've never seen so much polish in a 3D platformer before. It is drop-dead gorgeous, colorful, and chock full of a million little technical details that had my jaw on the floor. My favorite is that this game often throws a bunch of stuff at you. Like stuff that you can run through, like hundreds of gems or sprinkles or skulls. And it's so fun to play around in these piles of stuff at 60 FPS as it realistically reacts to you, wading through it and punching them and spraying them everywhere. And there's no slowdown at all. It's so fun. There's also some other incredible details at play with like water simulations and things like that, but for an in-depth look at them, I highly recommend watching Digital Foundry's video on this game. They really get into the weeds of it and kind of explain, much better than me, how impressive this game is at a technical level. I didn't want to binge this game. I really didn't. I wanted to take my time and just savor the experience, but man, I could not put the controller down. I ended up finishing it over the weekend despite my best efforts. I think the highest praise I could give it is that this game makes me want to be a Sony fan. And that is a very difficult thing to achieve for a Nintendo fanboy like me. There's tons of like references to Sony properties, and I understood a handful of them, but it made me want to know about all these franchises that they've published in the past. But it says a lot that even though I didn't recognize a lot of the references, I still really enjoyed the game. And it really comes down to the design. It is meticulously crafted to be such a fun experience. Play this game. It's a non-stop rush of dopamine, and it gives me hope that maybe Sony can make games that interest me after all.